Hey everybody, it's Nick. It is Monday. I am subbing, I believe, for Taylor, and my topic is what to do when you're in the friend zone with a straight friend. So, this is kind of my first actual video on here, so I apologize if it's really awkward, but I will do my best. So, as far as being in the friend zone with a straight friend, been there, done that a few times, and I know that it can be really, really hard, especially when it's somebody that you're like fairly good friends with, maybe even your best friend. Been there, where you're like, oh my gosh, your personality's great, and you have a face that's just fantastic, and maybe you thought you might have like received some like cues that maybe they were kind of into too, which is always feels really great. And then it turns out that they're not into you like that. Or maybe you never even tell them and it's just kind of awkward. Yeah, I know. It can be shitty no matter which way the situation occurs. So, as far as my advice to you, if you are crushing like super hardcore on somebody who's straight, is that, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, bearer, not bear, not like bearer of bad news. They are probably not going to come around. And while every person is different, even if you think you may have received some like clues or like picking up that maybe they have a thing for you, it is always best. At least I would think it is probably best um, to approach them about it if you actually think that they might have an interest in you, and otherwise to let it go. And I know that they might seem really great. They might be really great, and you might think, oh, if they could just, look at it through a different lens, or maybe I would just be that one person who they could be in a, like homosexual relationship with, as opposed to a heterosexual relationship. You can just have all these thoughts about maybe, what if. And I don't think it's necessarily harmful to have those thoughts in the short run, but I think that everybody deserves deserves to be happy and to be loved by somebody, like to love somebody who can love them back equally. And although there might not really be any harm done in sort of letting yourself get caught up in these fantasies about a straight friend, and and just like letting yourself crush really hard. I think that there are some cases where maybe that could put a strain on your friendship, especially if they don't know, where you are wanting something from them, and nobody really wants to get to that moment when you're sitting on a couch with them and you think about kissing them, and actually kissing them when they're straight, maybe not the best idea. So it's just, letting yourself sort of run with those thoughts. While it can feel really good because, who doesn't love to be in love? Like, there are some downfalls, I think, that can potentially happen. And like I said before, like, everybody deserves to care about somebody who they know will care about them back. And obviously, when you like somebody, it's not just an on and off switch, but I think that we do have sort of an ability to like really let ourselves like let the idea sink in that they really are probably not gonna like you. Sounds really sad, but just kind of like letting yourself sit with that and just reminding yourself that there is somebody out there for you, that there are potentially multiple somebodies out there for you who you'll meet throughout your life, who really will care about you as a person and who will be able to return your love or whatever you're feeling, and who will be sexually attracted to you as well. I mean, unless they're sexual, but that they'll be attracted to you in some form, and have romantic feelings for you. And as far as whether or not you tell your straight friend about your feelings, I feel like that's really up to individuals and their particular situation. with me, if it's somebody that I'm not super close to, I don't tell them. If it's just been like some girl in my class, like who I don't really know, then I keep it to myself so that don't have to, so that I personally don't have to feel awkward when I see them around campus. Like, oh, there's that one girl who knew that I like her. That's weird. Like, I try to avoid that. And then as far as if it's somebody who I'm really close to, again, it kind of depends. Yeah, it just kind of really depends on whether or not you think it'll be awkward. Like, if you think you'll feel a relief, or if you think they deserve to know, then by all means tell them. It really will be okay if you do. Like, I promise it'll be okay. And if it's not okay, then maybe your friendship wasn't meant to be, which doesn't lessen the hurt any if they're not okay with how you feel towards them. But it's just kind of something you've got to deal with as it comes. Um, and I wish I could say that it's like always super easy and it goes over super smoothly, but that's not always the case. So you just gotta make a decision and just go for it, you know? Because no matter what, it'll be okay. And then to end on a slightly more positive note, um, I it took me a long time to figure out my own sexuality, and so throughout high school, I strongly believed I was straight. That fact has since been disproven, but I believed it quite strongly. And my best friend at the time actually came out to me as a lesbian, and then told me that she was madly in love with me. And it kind of made our friendship a little bit awkward, as far as we used to like cuddle a lot in bed and spoon and hold hands in the hallway. Yeah, I was straight, but for me, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to keep doing that because I didn't want to send her the wrong messages. So you might keep in mind that if you do tell your straight friend and they pull back, it might not be that they're like offended or freaked out, but that they don't want to seemingly lead you on. Okay. But then back to the happy part is that once I actually realized my sexuality, we did date. She was my first girlfriend. We dated for a couple months, and then it just didn't work out for other reasons. We weren't really a good fit, plus long distance and all that business. But sometimes people can change and come around, and so my friend definitely got out of the friend zone because I wasn't actually as straight as I thought I was. But that's just an interesting story. But again, that's probably not the most likely outcome. So just grin and bear it. You will be okay, I promise. Alright, have a great night, guys.